Hi, Laria.
Hi, Paola. How are you?
Good, good, good. Very happy to be here
Happy to see you.
in this. It's a bit of a rainy morning in Colorado, but I'm
Oh,
always happy having rain because it
yes, you
doesn't
like
happen
it?
very often here. So
All
every time
right.
that it happens, I celebrate.
Right,
And
right,
then,
right.
how is the weather in New York?
It's good. It's nice. It's hot and humid, but it's nice and sunny. I don't know how the weekend is gonna be, but today is a nice weather. Good to get out a little bit.
Right.
And yeah.
So
Cool.
I would say let's wait a couple of
Absolutely, yeah.
a minute
Let's
or
wait.
two while people join. I see people are starting
Yeah.
to join, and then someone here, believe right to the heaven, is saying hello to both of us. And also,
Hi.
if you can please tell us, where are you? I would love to know in what country or what state, if you are here in the US. We would love to know that.
Natalie. Free Your Toes, love that name.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, where it's 10 a.m. where you are, right?
Yeah, 7 a.m.
Yeah,
here is
it's noon in New York City. Yeah, yeah,
9 a.m. on the West Coast.
yeah, yeah.
So this is great. So yesterday we had Dr. Alani. And then
I watched
before
it. I was very
you,
interesting. I really enjoyed it. Yes,
yes,
yes.
she's so knowledgeable. And then while more people start joining, let's talk about our Fit Care, Summer Fit Care giveaway.
Yes,
So we joined forces with fitness to healthy fit podiatry with Dr. Alani and Tucketts, and we prepared this amazing package for everyone, or for two winners, but everyone can participate to
yeah,
win and to get this amazing summer fit care package. So you will get 3 months membership with fitness with Ilaria, and then 3 pair of Tucketts and one free consultation with Dr. Alani from To Healthy Fit Podiatry. And on top of that, we will send you an amazing bag with natural care products just for the feet. That's
yeah,
amazing, right?
yeah. A
So we
nice
want,
pampering gift before the summer, right? In the beginning of the summer.
right,
So,
exactly. We want everyone to get uh, beautiful feet, and also to be aware of how feet are so important. That's why we're doing this series.
yeah,
So, well, I think we're ready to start. Oh, before that, yes, please, to participate, please click the link in our bios,
yeah,
and then you will find all the instructions there. And then the more entries you accumulate, the more chances you have to win. And remember, two winners, so you have even more probabilities to get it.
yeah.
Okay, Laria, are we ready?
I'm super ready.
Okay, so let's talk a bit about you. Could you please tell us a bit of your background? What were you doing in Italy? And then what took you
Yeah.
to come to the
Uh,
US?
Yes, I'm Italian, lived in Italy for a big part of my life. I was a gymnast and then an acrobatic dancer afterwards. So basically, and also my university, my college degree is connected to movement because it's in biomechanical movement. So basically, I've always been gravitating around movement. And when I was towards the end of the dancing career, I decided to learn about Pilates. And to do that, I came to New York City, fell in love with the city, decided to stay, and transition to the Pilates career. And then as when you start, that was the first time that I was really teaching and applying my college degree to others, right? Before I was just taking care of my body and getting myself ready to compete and perform. At that point, I was like looking at other bodies. I were preparing other bodies to, to whatever they needed, like performance, running, playing golf, just being more healthy, more fit. And then, after that, I built up, and I started adding Eldoa to the repertoire, and I teach both clients and instructors. And I'm still based in New York City, built my family over here. So this is where I foresee me being for a long amount of time. I mean, I don't picture myself going anywhere else for now, but you know, never say never. Things
Right.
happen in life. So,
Right. Especially
and
now,
you know, right?
much uncertainty.
Yeah,
So I'm also curious to know, and probably we're all curious to know, of all the parts of the body. How come you chose to focus on feet?
absolutely. So for me, it's always been pretty natural. As I was mentioning, gymnast and acrobatic dancer, you beat up the feet, you beat up the whole body, right? But you also take care of the whole body as best as you can. Otherwise, your career is getting to an end sooner rather than later. So for me, it was natural to be barefoot, walk barefoot, and again, do also exercise. They were preparing me to be on stage for 2 hours or to run on a hard surface or everything that comes with performing on stage. Uh, and so that was my innate in me, was in me. But I was observing more and more, the more years I was teaching and the more clients I was seeing, that people were really complaining about foot pain. And then when you start looking at the way they move and what that complaint relates to, you start seeing the connection of that foot complaint connected to a knee issue, connected to a pelvis issue, or lower back tension that doesn't go away. So you could really notice how there is this two-way relationship between the body above and the foot. The foot is really the connection that we have with the ground, right? So we stand most of the day, we walk around, and not always the foot issue creates a body issue, let's say. Sometimes it's the opposite, or sometimes it's in interrelation between the two. But even doesn't really matter where the issue starts sometimes, but we need to take care of both ends to make sure we can get to a better result. Maybe you get to the result anyway, but it's longer, it's not as efficient. So at that point, I started when I saw this relationship really clear, I started being more and more interested in this, and I started documenting myself, taking multiple courses, applying the Soma training, things that I learned to the feet. And that's how fitness came along. So these foot fitness, right? Yes, we do Pilates, we do yoga, TRX, anything that you like for your body, anything that you have fun doing, because that's very important. If you are not having fun, it's going to last 2-3 weeks the most, and then you're going to stop. So you need to find something that really gratifies you and you have fun doing. But whatever it is, make sure you had a little focus on the foot as you do it, because that builds up your foot strength. It fixes those issues that maybe are not that severe and can be fixed with exercises, increases blood circulation in the foot. So any type of inflammation is lessened by increased blood circulation. I always think about this. In fact, I'm very interested of connecting further with Dr. Lani, because she was very focused and she was mentioning exercise as one preventive tool, and I find that I'm very happy that a podiatrist sees that as an important aspect of the foot health. Because I think I've been here now for 14 years, and I had clients referred by doctors and by PTs for low back pain, for knees, for shoulders, for anything. Mostly back pain for Pilates is like, oh, do this and this, do this injection, but then you need to strengthen the core, go to Pilates. But in all these many years over here, I never got a referral for foot issues. Like you need now because of fitness, I'm more in contact, and so that's changing a little bit. But there is not this. People don't even know that it's important to work out the feet sometimes. People are sometimes a little bit. They don't even want to look at their feet, right? Because it's like a very intimate area of the body, and there is this inclination that you think that you work the body, the core, the glutes, and everything, and you're done. There are people that work out and never take their shoes off, and that's wrong. because you run on your feet, even if the shoes are the best, the shoes you can get, the one that fit your foot and your technique, running technique, still you need to take, first of all, you need to prepare your feet, ankle, and knees before you start running, but also you need to take your shoes off at some point and do those exercises with the intrinsic muscles of the feet, with the little ones that don't get to move too much unless you're barefoot, to really strengthen your foot core and make sure you don't get into plantar fasciitis issues, other type of inflammations, and micro fractures and other things.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yes, I mean that's totally true. Yesterday, Dr. Alani was saying that, well, she was comparing our feet or our body with a tree, and then the root of the tree need to be strong in order for the tree to grow healthy and to
I
live for
love that.
many years.
Yeah.
And then it's exactly what happened with the feet. The feet is the root of our body, and then if our feet are healthy, the rest of the body is going to be healthy, and it's going to
Yes.
be really a reflection of
Yeah.
our feet, and vice versa. Kind of the feet can also mirror a bit of
A
what's
mirror.
happening in the body. And then that's one of the reasons we created Tucketts. And the whole idea is, even if is either for hygienic reasons or just for safety, because sometimes feet sweat, and then we need to protect us from
Absolutely.
gain more balance. But leaving the toes out also help us to be more aware of our feet, and
Yeah,
embrace them in the way how they are, and the way how we take care of our hands, we take
exactly.
care of our feet. um in something that I read on your website, you were mentioning that uh, posture is the business, is like your personal business card,
Your best
your
business
posture,
card. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
I
then
read.
I wanted, if possible, for you to talk a bit about the relationship between the feet and posture.
Absolutely. So really, the how you place the weight of your body on the feet, that determines the way you stand and the way you walk around, right? So there are a lot of people that carry more weight on the front of the foot, on the toes. So if you think about those little joints of the toes, they get to carry their whole body weight, right? So imagine a tall person, right? And no matter which type of body you have, but it's way too much load on the small joints on top. And that doesn't happen one way only. That sometimes is only a head forward, sometimes is a rounded back, sometimes it's hanging forward in the hip flexor. So it could happen in different ways, but that way carry forward is not healthy. At the same time, we cannot be only on your heels. So it's a little less common, and you really are not grounded and in a good balance if you're all the way back, but sometimes that happens as well. So you the roots that Dr. Lani was talking to, the feet are very important to set up a nice gravity line, right? What does a gravity line, a nice and a proper gravity line means? It means that we are more efficient, because instead of wasting energy to hold our head forward because we're not aligned, we are going to save those energies and we're going to use them for something else, right? So that's one. Second, if you think about movement, it's an injury prevention tool, because if you have a good alignment in the body that starts at the feet and continues all the way up, you're less likely to get injured in when you play sports, when you step off the curb, or other things. So those two things are very important. And then the third thing, the reason why I say is the best business card, because let's say you when we started talking about posture, you lifted yourself up,
Yeah.
right? And let's say a terrible day, you're tired, you're exhausted, you have to go out for dinner. That's the last thing you want to do. And look at yourself for a second in the mirror when you're at that stage, tired, not willing to go out, and look at your posture. I mean, somebody else should take a picture of that, right? And then transformation. You get up, you put a dress, you get ready, you're ready to go. I'm sure your posture looks different, right? Because the moment you know that you need to go out, you need to relate to people, you start telling yourself, like, okay, I need to get ready. I can't go out like this and exhausted. I need to change it up. But the interesting thing is that the two aspects kind of communicate. So it's true that when I get ready to go out, I feel right away more confident and I'm ready to go out. At the same time, it's a circle that increases your level of confidence and improves your posture at the same time. They write it like they say, like fake it until you make it. Okay, so this carrying a nice posture. Because your body is ready, because your mind is ready, it's sometimes a little bit of an effort in the beginning because you need to prepare your body and your mind for it. But then it turns to being a very nice and natural thing that happens without thinking. And you do things with wasting less energy and feeling better and being more ready to communicate to the body, to the world outside. So it's a very interesting, it's I'm I take care of the body, I work on the feet, I work on the exercise and the movements, but it's very interesting to see also this correlation with the mind, with how much power and healthy body and a good posture has on the mind itself.
Right. And that's totally true. I think in moments when we're down, sad, or insecure,
Yeah. For
with
example,
confidence, we try to our posture change completely
yeah.
from when we have a more positive
Yeah.
attitude or simply a state of mind. That's totally
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, we in New York, we're still in a quarantine phase. I mean, we're just into phase one, and we've been, this way since March 15. So it's been a long stretch of time. And I have to be honest, I always used to work out. I like to work out, but once all this started, I've been doing it every day. I haven't missed one day. Sometimes more intense, sometimes more dynamic, sometimes a little more stretchy, but that kept me sane because it was really working on my body, but improving also my mind. Peace, peace of mind, and trying to deal with the whole situation. That includes everything. Being this care about the virus, homeschooling, dealing with work, dealing with everything. So it's I think it's very powerful,
Yeah,
very
no,
powerful tool.
so like for example, I started running, and I something that I before I kind of really didn't like, but well, we have nature nearby. But I started running, and it's funny because while I run, I notice as well the difference in my posture, and also after running, I have to do some fit exercise just to relax
So
my.
yeah,
And then
absolutely.
talking about that, Ilaria, could you show us some
Yeah.
type of
Um,
either stretching, strengthening?
I'm
Uh,
gonna show I'm gonna show you a couple of one is more of a manipulation, more of a stretching exercise
mhm.
that you don't need any tool to do and you can do anywhere at any time. And the other one still is another little reinforcement. But what I like about these two is that yes, there are exercises, but it's almost like are two easy things that you can put everywhere during your day. You can add them to anything you're doing, watching TV or standing while cooking or standing while looking at something. Because I believe that if you have never been used to work on the feet, not necessarily you need to start with the program, the workout, like just start with a couple of things and make it become your new lifestyle. Once it's ingrained in your day and you're used and you like, then it's easier to get into adding more time and more exercise to the routine. Okay, so let me see if I can turn the camera the proper way so you can guys see my feet. Perfect. So the first one is the one I call the shake foot. It's very simple. Hand and foot opposite side. You're going to slide the fingers in between the toes. This is not always easy. Sometimes using a lotion helps. And this is great because it creates a space in between the toes, but also in between the metatarsal bones in line. So basically, you're gonna just slide your fingers there and you circle the ankle around. Why is it important to create space between the metatarsal bone? Because that's an area that, first of all, if you keep the shoes on, reverse the circle. If you keep the shoes on, it's always very, very tight. So by spreading, you increase space and you increase blood circulation in this area. There are a lot of capillaries and vases over here. So that's a very good thing, just the space you create. Now, I'm going to hold the rear foot. I'm going to hold the ankle, and I'm going to pull the toes up and then the toes down. Toes up and toes down. And again, up and down. Now I'm going to make the movement bigger. Toes up and up in dorsiflexion, toes down and point the foot. It's almost like a little wave where we really differentiate what is moving, right? Sometimes we think that a foot is so small that it doesn't have too many movements available. Not true. There are so many joints, and every joint means there is a different, potentially a different movement and a different action. Perfect. And now the last thing, I want you to hold the rear foot again, and we're going to get into twisting a little bit. So we're going to basically create almost like a ribbon with the metatarsal bone of the foot, and we're going to twist it around a little bit. We finish with a couple more circles and reverse. And perfect. You slowly release. And if you now focus on your feet, I don't know if somebody that is following is doing it as well. I feel them different, but also what I'm always amazed is that if you look at them, I don't know if it shows from the camera, but they almost have a different color. I mean, this seems to be a little more swollen. This is a little lighter color. I mean, it's almost like what we did for this 1 minute, 1.5 minutes already affected the health of the foot. We can repeat on
blood circulation. Yeah, I can
yeah.
notice the difference.
Yeah, and that's described in many different and opposite ways. Sometimes people describe it to me like I feel more grounded. Some other times I feel lighter. I feel tingling. It's very different sensation, and they change also day by day. But that's really a powerful little thing that you can do anywhere, right? And the other one that I think is very interesting, pretty simple, and then we can go on the other foot as we keep chatting and finish up the other foot, is the towel exercise, but the towel without the towel. I mean, you can use the towel, but if you are like in a surface like this, it doesn't really pull. So what I do usually, I sit up, I lift up the front of the foot, which is already a great work for the tibialis, which not always we get to use as much as we should. Then you splay your toes, you spread your toes, you lower down, you pull, you pretend you're grabbing and pulling something to you, you keep it curled, and then you release it up. And again, go down, spread your toes, pull it to you, grab it, and up, release. Down, spread, pull, and release. And so this, beside the incredible work of splaying and spreading the toes, which not always comes right away, We have a general reinforcement of all the flexors of the foot. Consider that these, on the bottom of the foot, we have 4 layers of muscles, and this is called the core of the foot, right? I mean, coming from Pilates, and I know in your audience, there are a lot of people that are like Pilates instructors, studio owner, and we always are obsessed about the foot, the core, the strengthening of the abs. Basically, this part of the foot is really like the core, the ab section of our foot, right? So as our midsection is the one that prevents us to having low back pain and, you know, everything related to it, this has the same importance, the power of lifting up the arch and having the foot nicely placed on the floor and ready to react, right? When we look at the foot, there are many things that we want to achieve. Many the feet are different, right? So they might need different things. But what are we need to have a mobile foot, a foot that is able to move and create those movements. So again, sometimes display is hard to achieve, but with patience, with time, we're gonna get there. Then we need to make sure we strengthen also the muscles of the foot. And then we need to coordinate and connect those movements to the body above, right? So if you do these 3 things with 1, 2 exercises a day, not to, you know, we don't have time to do an hour of foot workout each day, and
Right.
it's not even necessary. We just need to do it smart. So learn the exercises, know what works best for us, and then make sure we're consistent with it.
This is great, Ilaria. Thank you so much for sharing this workout. And what I love,
You're welcome.
the camera here. Well, so what I love about this is that what you show us is something that we can do almost anywhere.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And
absolutely.
also, if you get the chance to go to the beach,
Oh,
try to grab, try, look, try to grab some sand and move the feet. And it's
exactly.
many times we just forget that the feet are there,
Exactly. No, no. I
especially when
always,
we are quiet, when we are seated or when we're just standing. It's like we are aware of many parts of the body except the feet until the pain comes.
yes. But as always, we cannot prevent everything, right? But as always, exercise is very powerful, but it's even more powerful when you're doing it to prevent issues as opposed to heal some issues, right? If you've been
Right.
doing things wrong for a couple of years and then you take care of it, it's one thing. If you've been doing things wrong for your whole life, maybe 40, 50 years, and then you try to fix it, you can still do a lot. And it's, again, it's very powerful, but everything is a little slower, or the result won't be so big, right? So the sooner you start, the more, you know, this becomes to be part of your lifestyle. That's what I meant, you know, in the beginning with this couple of exercises. Like we grow up and we learn that we're gonna brush the teeth 2-3 times a day, right? And we take care of our oral hygiene. It's normal. It's part of our lifestyle and our life. Now, we need to learn growing up that the feet should be taken care of. And as you go to the gym to do other things, you also should be taking care of the feet. At that point, if when things will change that much, there won't be, you know, the feet will be a lot more healthy. I don't know if you saw I think I posted pretty recently, but I always have this video on at the conference that where we meet most of the times that shows PE sessions in schools in the 1940, I think, and they were taking care of the feet of the kids. They were looking at them. They were doing specific exercise. They were having these kids jump. They were taking care of their posture when sitting at the desk. They had the kids stand up and do a couple of exercises as they were, you know, in between studying sessions. So that was in school 100 years ago, 80 years ago, and we kind of lost it somewhere. I don't know why it changed, but we should potentially get back to it.
Yeah, and then there is a lot of misconception about the feet, and it's something that I have been discovering. And as you mentioned before, I think sometimes we don't embrace the feet, we don't accept our feet, and we hide our feet in many different ways. But actually, I think one of the things that Tucketts have brought to me is to be even more in contact with our feet, and something simple. Well, I have a daughter, 9 years old, but since she was very, very small, I started doing like feet massage to her, and I can see how it relaxes. And also, it's true about how when you massage or you do some movement dedicated to the feet, the color of the feet changes.
Changes, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
totally. It's like circulation.
Yeah, but no, you're right. People are kind of sometimes scared, not scared, but they don't like to look at their feet. I think Tuckets is a great thing because beside the safety and beside the
Mhm.
function that they have for the workout, it's like dressing up your feet but keeping them bare, right? So it's in between. You start showing some stuff, but they look great because of the colors, because of the things. So it's really good also for that aspects because people are more likely to start connecting to them without just having the bare foot.
Yes, that's true. And then, Ilaria, after this, I'm sure so many of our viewers now probably would like to know how, what can I do to do a bit more? And then I know you have amazing programs, not only for people like me that where I'm not an instructor, just a practitioner, but also you have programs for instructors to include the feet in a more active way in
Yeah,
whatever workout they do. Correct?
yeah,
Could you
yeah.
explain more about that?
Absolutely, thank you. I have what is called a fitness instructor training program. There is one that is always running online remotely, and another one that I'm going to start in July is a Zoom Live, meaning like we cannot be together in the same room right now, but we're going to be all together on Zoom. So the work will be very interactive and active in between me and the instructors. And that's what's the purpose of this? Refocus on the anatomy of the feet, on the pathologies, or what are the things that we deal the most when clients come to us, right? So bunion, plantar fasciitis, Morton's neuroma, toe conditions, ankle sprain. Those are the most common things that get to us, right? And I'm sure there are other injuries and other things that don't even come to us into the studio. They go directly to the doctor because it's a different level, right? So that's basically to give instructors the tools to do to help their clients better when they have food issues and also to prevent, right? Like we said. So how to structure a private class with them and also how to structure and organize a group class. So yes, you do your Pilates mat, but in the beginning and at the end, there is this focus with Rescue Loop, that is the tool that I designed to make sure that you can get into connecting the feet even when you do a mat and the feet are up in the air. So that's more for instructor, but when like a few months ago, I started also a membership, which is for everyone. So there is workout videos. Always there is always a foot focus, but it's not only about the feet. It's all really about foot, posture, Pilates, segmental strengthening, and basically the membership puts everything together in one bucket. You can find the specificity of the feet, but also just a full body workout, which will take care of the feet for sure, but it's not just about it. And that's for everyone. It is also for instructor because we focus on different themes each month. So like we had spinal articulation, and in May we did plantar fasciitis. This month we take care of the movement of the shoulder blades, shoulder mobility. And you know, every month it changes and we shift from body parts to feet to stretching to breathing, and so it will get, you know, richer and richer as we go on.
Right. And I believe you can access to everything at any time, right? Like even the past workouts
Absolutely.
are,
Yes, yes, yeah.
they are there.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's always yeah, that's why the more, you know, we build up, the more stuff you find when you go on it. So yes,
This
it will
is
grow.
great. Hilaria,
It's
thank you
exciting.
so much for your
You're very
time.
welcome. That was
And
really an
but
interesting.
before we go, I'm wondering if anyone has a question maybe for Hilaria, something that I missed that you wish to know. And then in case nothing comes now, but later on, please don't hesitate to contact Hilaria.
Absolutely.
Can you remind us of how they can find you, please?
Yeah, on Instagram is fitness_edu, edu, and the website is fit-ness.com. So you can find me in either place. The email will be on the website, and you can reach and DM on Instagram
Great.
if you have questions.
And then, so next week, because we're doing a series of prevention, like we really, really want to focus on having, trying to avoid major issues. And sometimes with the feet, as I have learned, is the issues, it take a while to appear. Probably it's kind of
Absolutely.
slower than other parts of the body, right? And
Yep.
especially after certain age, after you turn probably 60, 70, and we are all getting there, like issues become really, really strong. But if we work out, we visit our podiatrist just as a preventive consultation on time, we can avoid many future issues. So stay tuned. We will be announcing this weekend the next two live chats, one more with Dr. Farah Alani. And also, if you have any question that you would like to ask to our podiatrist, please let us know, and we will make sure to find an answer and to cover that question. And the same for Ilaria. We will be announcing the times of our next chats. And don't forget that you still have time, and there are more 10 days of the giveaway. So please click on the link in our bio, and you will get there all the instructions, and two winners. Right, a $500 package.
Very exciting.
Okay, well, Ilaria, enjoy the weekend, everybody.
Thank you, Paola. Enjoy the weekend. Yes, and I'll see you next week.
Yes, see you next week.
Bye. Ciao.